So this was a massive last few days in gaming with the Nintendo Direct and a bunch of big announcements for games coming out in 2018. So let's get right into the news. So as we know, on March 8th, there was a Nintendo Direct. It was about a 30-minute Nintendo Direct, and they talked about new 3DS games coming out, as well as new Nintendo Switch games coming out. But they had one major announcement that overlooked them all, and that was that the Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo Switch will be coming out in 2018. So they showed it off by Inklings running around shooting at each other, and then you have Super Mario rising up from the darkness with a fireball and looking completely, absolutely scary. So it was really cool what they did with that trailer and how they portrayed Super Mario, but that's all they showed off, and it created so much hype and so many cool reactions around the internet. But we don't know anything else about the game. All we know is for the Switch, it's coming out in 2018, and that's it. Now, the Nintendo Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. Was an amazing Super Smash Bros. Game. It was so good, and not a lot of people experienced it because they didn't have the Wii U. So I'm excited to know how they're going to improve on it, and if they're just going to take the Wii U game, bring it over to the Switch, add a couple things to it, add some characters, and then call it a Switch version, or maybe it's just going to be a port, we don't know, but it really looks like it's pointing towards a brand new Super Smash game for the Nintendo Switch. Now, besides that major announcement, they showed off Mario Tennis Aces, and this is a game I'm extremely excited for. I haven't played a Mario Tennis game since the GameCube era, and I absolutely love the Mario Tennis games. They showed off trailers and gameplay footage of it, and it looks really good. The graphics look good, the gameplay looks good. They added some new shots like the zone shot and the special shot. You can actually break your opponent's rackets now, and you can do these cool flipping in the air shots if you build up your meter high enough. So it looks like a really fun game, and one of the things I'm most excited for about this game is that it looks like they are really incorporating online for it, and they're creating a tournaments mode. So it seems like a game that you could sink so many hours into, that you could master with all of the different shots, and I'm really excited to see that. And I believe it comes out on June 22nd this year. Other important Switch titles I talked about were they are bringing South Park Fractured But Whole over to the Switch, and I think this is a perfect game for the Nintendo Switch with the graphic style, with the gameplay. It's just, and I played it on the Xbox One and I absolutely loved it. So this is a game that if you haven't checked out and you have a Nintendo Switch and you like South Park, you have to try it out. They show that they are bringing a new amiibo for Dark Souls, and they also confirmed that they are bringing Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy over to the Switch, and this was a rumor a few weeks ago, but it is now officially confirmed. And then when we look at the Nintendo 3DS, they talked about a couple of games, two of them that I'm excited for. They're remaking Luigi's Mansion from the GameCube over to the Nintendo 3DS, and this is an amazing game on the GameCube, so I'm excited to be able to get that on the 3DS. And they are bringing over a new WarioWare game, and I haven't played a WarioWare game in a long time, but they're making a new one for the 3DS, and it looks like it would be a lot of fun. So Nintendo is killing it again, bringing over tons of games, but this Nintendo Direct for me was okay. It was mediocre. The Super Smash Bros. Announcement was huge. I am excited for it, but I really just need to see more on the game to get crazy excited for it, because like I said, the Nintendo Wii U version was a great game, and I just don't know how they're going to improve on it. So it'll probably be more of the same, but with new characters, but that's still great to have on the Nintendo Switch, obviously. And overall, besides that, Mario Tennis Aces is the game that I am most excited for from this Direct. So I'm excited for that to come out in June. So the next installment in the Call of Duty franchise will be Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and this will be released on October 12th for the PC, the Xbox One, and the PS4. Now that's all we know about it. They will be releasing more information on the game on May 17th. But it's interesting how they're releasing it so early this year. I don't think they've released a game for the Call of Duty franchise in October in a very long time, but clearly they're trying to get ahead of the curve by releasing it before Battlefield 5 and before Red Dead Redemption and all these crazy games that are coming out in the holiday season. Now, Call of Duty World War II is boots on the ground, and it was one of the better Call of Duty games I've played in a very long time. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely hated Infinite Warfare, but loved World War II, and I hope that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 goes in the same direction. I know Black Ops 3 had the jetpacks and the boost jumping and everything, and it wasn't boots on the ground, but it was relatively well received, and I believe it was one of the better Call of Duty games. I haven't tried it out, but from what I read, people really seem to enjoy that game. As long as it's a good game with good maps and good weapons, and everything else involved with the online service is very good, I'll be okay with that. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Black Ops 4. So Fortnite is coming to iOS and Android, and this is a really cool announcement because Epic has announced that the experience on your mobile phone will be the exact same as it is on your PlayStation 4, on your Xbox One, or on your PC. The game on your phone will also be crossplay with PC and the PlayStation 4, and it will also be cross progression. So whatever you accomplish on your PC or on your PS4 will transfer over to your mobile phone. So here is the official announcement that Epic released about this. Fortnite Battle Royale is coming to mobile devices on phones and tablets. Fortnite is the same 100 player game you know from PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC and Mac. Same gameplay, same map, same content, same weekly updates. Starting Monday, you could sign up for the invite event on iOS. Support for Android will be coming in the next few months. And then they also went on to talk about the crossplay and the cross progression with PC and the PS4. In partnership with their friends at Sony, Fortnite Battle Royale will support crossplay and cross progression between PlayStation 4, PC, Mac, iOS, and eventually Android. This means players across devices can squad up with friends and play together. We believe this is the future of games. The same games on all platforms, console quality graphics and action. Play when you want, where you want. Now this is extremely cool, I think, especially with the cross progression, how the gameplay and everything will be the exact same. Who knows what the graphics will look like? That's what the only thing I'm thinking about is that how are they going to get the same quality of everything like graphics and gameplay and map and everything onto a phone when you're comparing it to a powerful PC or the PlayStation 4. But it'll be really interesting what they do, and it looks like they're really taking that Nintendo Switch approach where it's play on your console, and then if you're done playing on your console, pick up your phone and go play it anywhere else, which is really cool. So I'm excited to see when this releases, and again, it'll be a free-to-play battle royale game, so that's awesome too. So the Division 2 has been announced. We will be getting a second Division game, and this was confirmed by Julian Garrity of Massive Entertainment during the Division State of Gaming live stream. And Massive Entertainment is just one of the developers that will be working on the Division 2. And here's what he had to say about it coming out. It wasn't an easy decision, but there are so many stories and so many experiences that we wanted to explore within the world of the Division that we felt a sequel was the best way to explore these things. Now, we don't know anything about the new Division coming out. All we know is that they will be using the same Snowdrop engine that they used for the first Division, and that we will be getting more information on it at E3. So it looks like Nintendo has filed a patent for Donkey Konga bongos. If you remember the Donkey Konga bongos, they were used on the GameCube with the Donkey Konga game, and it was a rhythm game where you would hit the bongos to advance Donkey Kong. So it looks like they have filed a new patent for the Nintendo Switch. Who knows if we will be getting anything from that, if we will be getting a new Donkey Konga game, or if they will use for something else. But it was a pretty fun game, and it was only utilized for one thing, so hopefully they do release a new one. They also filed a patent for a keyboard for the Nintendo Switch, and who knows what this will be for. Maybe this means we are getting a web browser soon, or something that we will utilize a keyboard for. But hopefully these things do come to fruition, and hopefully Nintendo does update their software to get things like a web browser that we could use a peripheral for or a keyboard for in the future. So Days Gone, the exclusive PlayStation 4 game that was announced at E3, it is an action survival zombie game, will be delayed until 2019. It was supposed to come out this year, but they're pushing it back until next year. And here's what they had to say about the delay. We can confirm that Days Gone will now be releasing in 2019, and we will keep you updated on the launch date. Now, personally, this is one of the exclusive PlayStation 4 games that I thought looked amazing, and I was so excited for it to come out. But I'm not that sad about it being delayed because I have such a huge backlog, and there are so many good games that have come out and coming out still that if they're taking a bit more time to perfect the game and make it amazing, I'm okay with that. So that meeting between Donald Trump and members of the video game industry took place, and we know who he met with now, and it was Michael Gallagher, who's the chief of the ESA, Strauss Zelnick, who is the CEO of Take-Two, and Robert Altman, who is the CEO of ZeniMax. Now, from my understanding, not that much came out of these meetings. It was pretty much Trump just telling the video game industry to look into themselves and decide whether they want to produce violent video games, or do they want to make a healthier society by not producing them. So there was no talk about government regulation or anything like that. It was pretty much just a showcase to show that the government understands that violent video games are out there and we're going to take a look at them. They released a video on YouTube showing the violence in video games, and they took all of the violence from the games out of context. It was really crazy. I mean, in my opinion, it was kind of a waste of time. And there's so much studies out there that show that video games don't produce violent children, or that there's no correlation between violent events and violent video games. But they went through these meetings. The good thing out of it, in my opinion, is that there is no talk of government regulation coming out of these meetings. And I don't think that these things should ever be government regulated, because that's just taking away freedom of speech and freedom of expression. So here are some quotes that came out of the meeting, starting with what The Verge had to say. Attendees said there was little serious talk of government restrictions on content. which would present significant legal challenges, and the conversation focused on more robust age restrictions or voluntary measures that could be undertaken by the industry itself. And then the ESA came out and made this statement: "We discussed the numerous scientific studies establishing that there is no connection between video games and violence, First Amendment protection of video games, and how our industry's rating system effectively helps parents make informed entertainment choices." And then the White House put out their statement: "The president acknowledges some studies have indicated that there is a correlation between video game violence and real violence. The conversation centered on whether violent video games, including games that graphically simulate killing, desensitize our community to violence." So like I said, this was just a meeting kind of for show in my opinion, and no government regulation will be coming out of it, I don't think. And I'm pretty happy about that. I don't think that the government should be stepping in and regulating these things, because that kind of restricts freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And nobody is forcing people to buy these games if they don't want to play them, and nobody is forcing parents to go out and buy these games for their children. So at the end of the day, as long as we are informed of what's in the game before we purchase them, I think that is a good step. And I think that we already do that with the ESRB ratings, with the mature and the teen and the everyone ratings and everything. You can clearly tell when a game is violent before you purchase it. So it looks like we probably won't be getting any government regulation, and in my opinion, I think that is a good thing. So that's the news. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to this channel, leave a comment down below about any of the stories that I talked about, and I'll catch you in the next video.